know what it is. You know what it is. The Halloween episode of Victory Talk. So we trying to get you spooky levels of success, spooky levels of victory, scary levels of victory. Yeah, man, we about to get into this Victory Talk Halloween edition. As you can see, I'm dressed up like the realest nigga ever for Halloween. Let's start the show. Yeah. You know what it is. This is another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. This is episode 62. Come on, man. 60. Round of applause for us. We do this podcast every Wednesday and Thursday. Every Wednesday and Thursday at around 7 o'clock. Around 7 o'clock. You want to make sure you show up. I mean, I'm glad you're here. This is going to be an amazing episode. I got a lot of shit that's going to help you. I prepared a lot for this one. All right. I got a lot of information to share with you. It's going to help you build your money, muscle, and mindset. That's what this podcast is all about. Helping you build your money, muscle, and mindset. All right. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock. And next week, we're going to have my man, Sterling Cooper. Pause is going to be on, or Cooper Sterling, right? And Cooper, he kick it with the homies Tate and them, with the Tate bros all the time. And he, you've probably seen him in Andrew Tate videos and or on Pornhub because he is a former adult film star, and we're going to talk about all types of shit, fucking. You're going to be talking about, I don't know what he's going to talk about, but it's going to be lit, and we're going to do Q&As. If you ever wanted to ask a porn star questions, make sure you show up next week. Make sure you show up next week, man. I want to tell you, man, Cooper has ruined pornography for me because every once in a while, I'm looking at porn, and I see some hoe, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm about to watch some hoe get it popping, boom, and I'm like, oh, fucking Sterling. Can't watch my boy fuck. It's weird. That's weird. And soon you will all have that problem after next week. It's Halloween. It's Halloween, man. Halloween's a big deal. Now, when I was a kid, I'm 41 years old, old school, Wu-Tang, Tupac, old school. And when I was a kid, Halloween, it was mostly for children. They dress up like little goblins or their favorite cartoon, maybe a comic book character, a superhero, maybe a princess. And they go around trick-or-treating, asking strangers for candy. It was beautiful. Now Halloween seems to be all about ass and titties. It seems to be all about ass and titties. It's an excuse. I've heard women say this. It's like, oh, this time of year you can dress like a hoe and no one can say anything. It's like, do these bitches like secretly want to dress like hoes year round? Is that like something that they crave secretly? Maybe, I don't know. Personally, I stopped dressing up for Halloween because there was one year I won Halloween. I had the best costume anyone's ever worn, and I'm pretty confident that I'll never be able to outdo it. No one will. And here, Nima, you see it's on my iPad. You don't see it on iPad? What's up? What's happening? No, I got it plugged in. Let's see, man. I want to show you guys something.
Yeah,
man.
I don't have it yet.
Do I need to unplug it and plug it? Try to unplug it and plug it.
We can try. Yeah,
Let's try to unplug
it typically
and plug
takes
it.
like 5, 6.
We're gonna need that shit. We're gonna need that shit today.
No worries.
I just want to show you the best Halloween costume, maybe ever. Soon. Now we're just waiting. Let's see. Let's see if it works. No? The fuck is happening? Is it something going on with the technology? Man, we having technical difficulties. Hey, man, you know what it is? It's Halloween, man, so something spooky is happening with the technology. If that shit don't work, this is going to be an interesting podcast.
They're gonna make it.
Yeah. Hold up. Give it a second. I got to show you this. No?
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's show the best Halloween costume probably ever is when your boy Big Brandon what's happening? Is it StreamYard fucking up?
Yeah.
StreamYard's acting weird today,
No,
bro.
this is not StreamYard. Your iPad keeps disconnecting. But
What?
StreamYard is blurring everything.
All right, well you can put this shit on the iPad without the
I want to, but
it just got disconnected? We lost it?
I mean, it's connected. Just
Oh man. The people.
okay, it's back again.
All right, here we go. Let's do it real quick. It's acting spooky. It's Halloween. Restarting the iPad. Fuck, man. All right, you know what? First, I'm just gonna show this to you guys. This is the best Halloween costume ever. You know what I'm saying? Can they see it?
Yeah.
You know, I was Mr. Clean. Shit was lit out here. And I ain't gonna beat that. Ain't no way I gotta beat that. I gotta restart this iPad. Restart. Siri don't never listen to me, man. This bitch is a hoe. Yes, bitch. Yo, shit is acting spooky. All right, here we go. We'll worry about that later. I like to start the podcast off with a story. All right. So back when I was broke, like most of y'all, I used to fly economy. Ooh, spooky, right? Not flying first class. Ooh, you're in the back of the fucking plane with the baby mamas and shit. You know, it's super spooky. And then I started making good money, and now I fly first class all the time. And the first time I fly first class, the first time I did it, I'm over here. I'm fucking Snapchatting. It was Snapchat before Instagram had the fucking shit. So I'm a Snapchatting the shit. I'm all hype. I'm taking pictures. I'm super excited about it. And then after years, after years of doing that, it got old. Not old, but it's like I just got used to it. Right. And I didn't get the same joy from flying first class than I did the first few times. It just became regular. Then it was Father's Day, last Father's Day. The day before Father's Day, I'm flying to go see my son. Right. Because I fly to go see him multiple times a month. I spend a lot of time with him, even though we're apart from. Oh, yeah. Spooky. And anyway, I like it. Okay. Yeah, this road. Is that or it's not? It's the new. Okay. Take off the portrait, but keep on the studio light. Yeah, that shit is hard. All right. Anyway, yo, this shit is acting spooky. But anyway, I'm trying to see my son. But I guess it was a fucking hurricane or something. You know, there's always hurricanes in Florida. It was like bad weather. And I'm at the air. I'm on the plane in the first class seat. And I'm chilling. And I end up on the fucking tarmac in the seat. We don't take off. I was there for like 4 hours. Like there was this weather. They couldn't take off. Then it got canceled. The flight got canceled. They had us all off the plane. And I was like, fuck, I need to get back to I need to go see my son, man. It's about to be Father's Day. And I couldn't get another flight because all the lines at the plane station were super long because all the flights got canceled. People trying to reschedule, and there were no more flights going out today. I call the airport the plane station because airport. Think about it. Think about it. Bus station, train station, airport. The fuck? I don't make no goddamn sense. It's a station, man. It's a station. Plane station. Start saying it. They just made up that bullshit word, airport, and we all fucking just conform to it like sheep, man. Wake up. Wake up, man. I'm trying to pull you out the matrix. It's a fucking plane station. All right. I digress. I can't get another flight out, and so I started looking on my phone for flights that leave that day to go to where I'm going, to go to Georgia, and I found one flight that would leave that night. Wasn't no first class seats on that flight. I told you this is spooky, right? Man, I had to be economy, but it was worse than economy. It was Spirit Airlines. Ooh, I had to fly Spirit. Now, here's the thing about Spirit. I never flown it until that day. So I get on the Spirit Airlines, and that shit was hood, right? I'm used to first class. They bring me cappuccino, a meal, you know, the fucking wet napkins, that fucking hot ass. Y'all don't know, but they bring you like a hot ass napkin and paper towel. Instead, man, I'm over here in Spirit Airlines. Now, if you've never been on Spirit Airlines, it's a lot like the F train in Queens. Like if you're coming from Jamaica, Queens, I thought there was going to be a little kid going through the aisle selling candy for his basketball team. I thought that somebody was going to start breakdancing for change. Thought there was going to be a homeless motherfucker sleeping on this thing. It looked like that kind of crowd. But what it did was, because I had got so used to first class, right? I said, oh, this is how everyone else flies. Ugh. And so when I flew back, I was on my first class flight and I appreciated it more, right? So we get used, the moral of the story is we get used to things that we enjoy and they become normal. There's a term for that in psychology called hedonistic adaptation. Hedonistic adaptation. So when things are good, initially you really enjoy them, but then you kind of get not bored of them. You get used to them, and you don't get the same amount of pleasure from them anymore. All right. And how does this affect you? Well, sometimes, man, here's what it is. A lot of things we're going to talk about today is going to involve sacrifices. It's going to take sacrifice for you to accomplish your goals. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then the goals become the sacrifice, right? If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, that was the wrong one. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice. And here's the beauty of that, though. Once you sacrifice for a certain amount of time and you go back to the thing, you enjoy it more, right? So we're going to talk about in this episode things you're going to have to sacrifice, at least temporarily, to accomplish your goals, to come up, to make more money, to improve your physique, to build your money, muscle, and mindset. All right. The beauty of it is once you go back to those things, you enjoy it more. When I went back after being on Spirit Airlines, told you it's going to be a scary story. I was on Spirit Airlines. When I flew back, I was on my rightful place in first class where a real motherfucker belongs. I enjoyed it more. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be like that. If you have to stop playing video games for a certain amount of time, if you have to stop going out for a certain amount of time, you have to stop partying, if you have to stop drinking it, once you do get an opportunity to indulge in these things, you're going to enjoy it more because you got used to them if you was doing it all the time. Right? I hope that makes sense. And I also have another hypothesis. If you're a man and you ever dated a woman, you know that no matter how good you are to her, she's going to find reasons to be mad at you. She's going to find reasons. So give her some reasons, man. She got used to you being so good, man. Start yelling at that bitch, man. Fucking start a fight. And then maybe she'll like you more. I don't know that. I'm not the right person to give relationship advice, but it sounds right. It sounds right. What I do is my girlfriend, man, when she flies without me, she got to fly coach. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If I had her in first class all the time, she wouldn't appreciate it, right? But when she flies with me, of course, man, she in first class with the big dog. You know what I'm saying? And then she appreciates it more. You know what I'm saying? Cheat code. All right. I see people asking, is this pre-recorded or not? The fuck is wrong with you? I do this shit every week, nerds. Anyway, but here we go. It is October. It is Halloween. Woo! Oh,
you just pressed it.
Fucking yo, man, the technology's acting spooky today. It's Halloween, and it's 7:27 Eastern Standard Time. It's real, man. Calm your goofy ass down. And even if it wasn't, you still watch this shit, man. Because this is I probably even if it was pre-recorded, it's me saying dope shit to you. All right. Hey, speaking of which, we got a sponsor. Yeah. Nima, we got a sponsor for this episode.
It's like a dream coming true.
It's like a dream come true. Yep. Man, you know, here's the thing. You work hard, you put in work, 62 episodes. And we finally got a sponsor.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency, man. Hard work pays off, guys. All right. So this episode, episode 62 of the Victory
Finally
Talk podcast is sponsored by Thot Repellent. That's right. Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent is the easy to apply spray that keeps the hoes away. You may be thinking, hey, Brandon, why would I want to keep the thoughts away? I love thoughts. Maybe if I arouse them, I can have sex with them more, right? That's because you was a dork. All right. If you was a real G, your problem wouldn't be how to get girls. It would be how to keep them away. See, this is what the ballers need. This product was developed by ballers for ballers. All right. See, here's what happens. There's a lot of guys who have joined the free Victory Unit Discord, right? Links in the description. And in the Victory Unit Discord, we're talking all about how to build your money, muscle, and your mindset. Right? I got free courses in there. Free. Can you believe it? Free. And you know, I'm in there all the time talking to the Discord members. In fact, I'm going live in there tomorrow night, just doing Q&A. I do that a few times a month, you know. And the guys in the Discord are really building their money, muscle, and mindset. And what happens is when you build up your money, muscle, and mindset to a certain level, you're not chasing hoes. Hoes are chasing you. And it can be overwhelming to the point where you need Thot Repellent, right? You got to keep the hoes away. Now, Thot Repellent is developed by Victory Unit Laboratories, right? It's still in development. So all your super chats are going to go towards the research and development for Thot Repellent. As of now, we got it so we can keep about 18 hoes away for 24 hours. It's built like a force field, a barrier, if you will. They get too close, they start shaking on the floor like, you know, like a roach when you spray Raid on them. It works. It works. However, we haven't perfected it yet. We have not perfected the design yet. There's still some side effects, and then we're working on getting these side effects down to a manageable level, and that's why we need your help. All your super chats go towards research and development for this to improve on the design. As of now, the side effects include, but are not limited to, Wi-Fi wet dreams, bootylicious bronchitis. Yeah, they're not ready. They're not ready for this jelly. They're not ready for this. Jada Pinkett fist. The inability to smile on the weekends. Mathlete's foot. Tripolar depression. Motherfuckers will try anything. Male pregnancy. Vanishing fingerprints. Candy corneas. diabolic diarrhea, reggaeton heartbeat. That's what the heartbeats kind of sounds like. Influential influenza, bone marrow thugs in harmony, infinity kidney stones. You got to collect them all. You got to collect them all if you want the gauntlet. Bud Light Lyme disease, minor lung explosions, eyeball shrinkage, romantic rash, erotic earwax buildup, Ukraine in the membrane, and Kentucky Fried Chicken pox. Now, I think those are all small prices to pay to keep the hose away, because this is a big problem for a lot of us. for the real ballers, the hose is a bigger problem than any of these side effects, but we want to get the side effects down to a more manageable level, and that's where you come in. All your super chats go towards research and development for Thot Repellent, because it's costing a lot of money. Deaths, lawsuits for the subject, casualties in the research department, and it's just costing a lot of money. So we really need your help, and we want to get this out to market, but the fucking FDA, they think you can't sell a product that calls Kentucky Fried Chicken pox. I thought this was America. I thought it was freedom. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Joe Biden. Before we get into the lesson plan for today, we got some heroes who've already contributed to research and development for Thot Repellent. Let's bring them brothers to the stage.
We have Gymnasium 50 Cent.
Okay. It's
Yo,
50.
new camera, looking crisp.
Yeah, you know what, man? That's a software update. That's a spooky software update. But thank you.
We got Patrick.
Uh-huh.
Yo, King Keto, I did what I said I was gonna do, and now I got 3 interviews to be a high-ticket closer.
Hey.
Is insurance a good industry for sales?
Oh yeah, insurance is I love insurance is a great industry in general, because if nothing happened, insurance is profitable, right? So you pay all this money for insurance and like nothing happens, damn, they won. And people always need insurance, it's it's a good industry, especially depending on what kind of insurance. I like it. Shout out to you, Patrick. Shout out to you, brother.
And we have JP Fitness. Yo, BBC. I'm working on building my sales skills, selling for a big influencer while growing my own social media.
All right.
Would you advise improving both at the same time, or just focus 100% on sales first?
Building your own social media, it's not like what you got to post every day. You got to post online every day. It's like how much time is that really taking you? You know what I'm saying? Try to find a way where you can do it with the minimal amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like what you got to post? If you're trying to build YouTube, like YouTube is hard. Pause. YouTube can be difficult, especially the long form stuff. But if you focus on YouTube Shorts, I mean, the fastest way to grow YouTube right now, cheat code is YouTube Shorts. It's the fastest way to grow. I had one of my students in a high ticket trainer. I had a few students who've grown like good YouTube pages just doing shorts. But one of them, Corey Armstrong, he started with like 0 followers. He 6 months just posting shorts every day. The same shit he was posting on Reels or TikToks, just on YouTube Shorts, and he got over 100,000 followers in less than a year. It would have taken him. It would have been way harder if he was focusing on long form. He didn't focus no long form. So just focus. All you gotta do is post every day. It's not a big deal. You know. All right, cool. Is this working now? The iPad. Let's just show my old Halloween costume. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not gonna get better than that. There's no way I'm gonna beat that. When I did that, Mr. Clean, let me just show you. Look at it. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm not gonna beat that. I think Mr. Clean is black. What are we doing now, Nima? Okay. I think Mr. Clean is black. Right? Think about it. Like, he looks like me. I'm black. Mr. Clean gotta be black. I think the Matrix didn't want you to know that Mr. Clean was black. They were trying to hide that from our history, brother. All right. They wanted you to think that Mr. Clean was a white man. Right? They trying to marginalize our heritage, brother. Nah, actually, in high school, I was trying to write a fucking history report on black Mr. Clean, and I called the company. They said they don't know what race he is. They found a picture of a fucking pirate. But where are most pirates from nowadays? Somalia, man. Don't let them take away. Don't let them take away our heritage, man. You seen that movie with Tom Hanks? Look at me. I am the captain now. That was a brother, man. Don't let them try to fucking take away our heritage, man. Mr. Clean was a black pirate. I digress. All right, we got some stuff we want to talk about today, and if you want to be successful in life, you want to build your money muscle and your mindset, you're gonna have to build the right habits. That's why we have a segment of this podcast that we do every week. It's called Habits of a Winner. Habits of a Winner. All right. If you look online, there's a lot of influencers and gurus who are proponents of something called monk mode, right? Monk mode is a period of isolation and extreme focus where you cut off all distractions for weeks or maybe months at a time in order to focus on your goals. And while I do think monk mode has its merits, we will go into it. I think there's a better way to accomplish this that does not wreak havoc on your life, because there's a downside to monk mode as well. There are disadvantages to monk mode, and I want to cover those in this video and show you a better version of monk mode, my version of it that has worked for me, and I think it will work for you too, right? And again, I'm not talking shit about anybody who's been a proponent of the monk mode on YouTube or any other social media. I know Iman Ghazi did it and he made a bunch of money, very successful, man. That's a hard working brother, right? Alex Becker, he talked about monk mode a lot and, seemed to have worked out pretty well for him. I want to just give you my version of it as well. All right. Now, first, let's talk about the traditional monk mode. Traditional monk mode is a extended period of extreme focus, cutting off all distractions. So there's different versions of it. People explain it in different ways, but it could include, a lot of times it includes the following: no social media, no video games, no Netflix, no FAP, no porn, no TV, no sports, no parties, no junk food. I've even heard people say no music, no family gatherings, no friends, and no sex. These different versions of it. Hey, listen, if you're thinking about going to monk mode, probably don't have friends or anyone to have sex with anyway, so we don't have to worry about those last two. Some people's versions of monk mode is not as extreme, but you get the fucking point, asshole. It's basically you're just cutting off different parts of your life, different aspects of your experience in order to singularly focus on accomplishing your goals. Basically, it's a prolonged period of time where all you do is work on your goals, work out, sleep, eat, and bathe, as well as additional hygienic practices, as well as and any other additional hygienic practices you may engage in. And while this can be effective, it definitely has its merits. Okay, monk mode definitely has its merits, especially this prolonged version. I was actually forced into monk mode in 2007. That's when my father committed suicide, blew his brains out, and I was stuck in a position where I had to take care of my whole family. I had to take care of my mom, my grandma, help my sister and her son. And I was 24 years old, and all of a sudden I was the man of the house, the man of the family. And we were in some trouble. My dad didn't have, any, excuse me. He didn't leave us anything. In fact, he left us a bunch of problems, a bunch of tax bills, a bunch of issues, mortgage that my mom had to figure out. It was just, I was thrust in a position where I had to dig my family out of this hole. So I felt like I had two choices. One, I could just cry like a bitch. I mean, I did cry, but I could just cry and let these circumstances overtake me, or I could be a G and start working real hard. And I chose the latter. What did that look like for me was I definitely cut off. Well, there was no social media at the time. So I wasn't on MySpace. I wasn't on MySpace or the Facebook. I think that's what it was called back then. So that social media wasn't a big deal, but I didn't watch much TV at all. I didn't play any video games. I didn't watch any movies. I didn't go to any basketball games. I didn't go to any parties. I didn't go to any barbecues. Missing out on barbecues and basketball games was a big deal because I'm Black, and that's what we do, right? So I had to refrain from those activities. And what I did do was I started waking up at 4 o'clock every day, and I would wake up early, train. I would take the train from Queens to Harlem, right? And I would train people at the gym in Queens on 145th. And then I would shower at the gym, take the train from Harlem down to Soho, work at the Prada store as a security guard for about 8 hours. I work as a security guard. That may be an embellishment of what really happened. I was hired to work as a security guard, but I didn't guard anyone. I didn't guard anything, and I didn't keep anyone secure. But I was there. I was there for 8 hours a day standing. And then after that, I worked for my boy's moving company, which is, anybody who's ever worked for a moving company, that's backbreaking labor. And and it's more difficult in New York because not every building has an elevator in New York. Yeah. Imagine taking sofas and sofa beds and furniture up a 6-story walk up. And that's what I would do after work. And then I go home, go to sleep, and wake up and do it again. I did that 5 days a week. And on the weekends, I woke up early, trained people. And then I was the weekend manager at a barbecue restaurant in Queens, in Astoria, Queens. And these were like 12, 14-hour work days, 7 days a week for about 2 years. So it was kind of a monk mode without really realizing it. And because I remember working on New Year's Day, working on holidays, working on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I was really going for it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really fucking around. And because I was forced into that position, right? I had to take care of my family and myself, right? Dig my family out of this hole. And being in that monk mode state, I was able to make 6 figures both of those years, right? 6 figures both of those years, just hard work. And to take it to another level, and another reason why that's so impressive is because it was during, the recession, right? And it was during the last recession in 07, 08, 09. We had the worst recession since the Great Depression. So there was record unemployment. The economy was all fucked up. Lehman Brothers crash, Bear Stearns, General Motors was about to go out of business. There were literally people with master's degrees working at Starbucks because we had record unemployment. We hadn't had unemployment that high since the Depression. It was a seriously bad time in the world, but I outworked it with this monk mode strategy. However, and so that was one of the benefits, right? I was able to make 6 figures both years, and I was able to start my online fitness business, right? Because I had some extra income. So I was able to start my online fitness business, which eventually grew to a multi 7-figure business, down the line. So those are the benefits, but there were some problems with that kind of monk mode. For one, it's just not sustainable. It's just not sustainable. I'm the only one I know who's ever done anything like that for 2 years straight, because I was forced to, like, just the position my family was in and the position of the world economy. Most of the people talking about monk mode, they just haven't been alive long enough to have ran a business or even worked during a recession. Like, y'all haven't had that experience yet, but don't worry, you will. It's coming. And but I had to do it, but it's not sustainable, and it was emotionally draining, like totally emotionally draining. It was definitely super lonely. I don't like, if I didn't have a cat, I might have went crazy. If y'all watch some of my old YouTube videos, I had a black cat, George, Meow Mix Poppy on Instagram. And he was like my only companion during these times, because a cat you can leave home all day and it can stay alive on its own. A dog will die. And I think it did some psychological damage to me, honestly. Right. I really believe it did some psychological damage to me. And but here's the other thing. Because it worked, right? I was able to get a certain level of success. It made me never want to do anything like that again. And because I never want to do it again, I was stuck at under $1 million for like the next 8 years, because I never wanted to go that hard again after it. And maybe it's because I did it for 2 years, and most people don't recommend doing that, right? But what happened was, eventually I read a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. I read this book, and what Cal talked about is having like deep work sessions where you work deeply. And when I think about it, that's kind of like, it's like a mini monk modes throughout the day. Right. So basically what Cal recommended was you carve out certain times of the day where you adhere to those monk mode protocol, but it's not all day, right? It's a few hours per day, and then you go back to regular life, right? So you go into these monk mode, you cut off all the stuff, all the social media, all the distractions, you're for 4 hours a day. Let's say, for example, 4 hours a day. All right, no social media, no text messages, no video games. You don't jag off for 4 hours. I know it's gonna be hard for some of you guys to stop jagging off for 4 hours, but just bear with me. Maybe that's not realistic for you, but just humor me for a moment, right? And then you work super hard during those times, and then you can go back to whatever you were doing, right? Then you can go back into the real world in regular life. And what happened was I started to make more money. That's when I first went over the $1 million per year mark, and that was like in 2016, right? And here's why I like it better. One, it's sustainable. And I'm gonna talk about how to do that later in this video, what the protocol looks like. But here's why I like what I call mini monk modes better. One is more sustainable. I've been doing a version of this every day for about 7 years, right? and my income has grown drastically each year, right? And monk mode, the way everyone else describes it, it's not sustainable, right? They want you to do it all day, every day for weeks or for months. And I'm not saying it can't work, right? But it's actually hard to work all day, every day and do real productive work. For example, here's a study that shows that working long hours predicted a decline in performance. I'm not going to read this shit for you because I'm not a fucking dork, but you can fucking take a screenshot and read this shit on your own time. Right? You know, but it talks about how long hours there's a decrease in performance. For example, it kind of looks like this. So sorry. So if this line represents performance, P, and this line represents time, the longer you work, the more that it will degrade. And I feel like this makes a lot of sense. And then at the end of it, you're probably just doing busy work towards the end, right? And this study goes into greater detail on why that happens. However, I want to show you a video from Kobe Bryant about how he trained. Now, we all know Kobe Bryant is world renowned for his work ethic, right? But Kobe didn't even work all day, every day. Let me show you something. And Kobe, he's pretty successful. What, he got an Oscar, a few championship rings, I think 5, a few MVPs, a few gold medals. Let me show you what Kobe was talking about.
If you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2, you have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You start training again at 6, train from 6 to 8. And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are two.
He was talking about what a regular motherfucker does. But here's what Kobe talks about, what his training would look like. You know, this is before he retired, right here.
2 sessions. Right now, imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11.
Okay, wait a minute. 4 to 6 and 9 to 11. There's a 3-hour break in there, right? You get what I'm saying? There was a 3-hour break. And Kobe, he said, now he's doing physically demanding stuff, right? So, but he said, your body needs to rest. You need to rest. You need to recover. Then he 3-hour break. Then he went back at it, right?
Right, you relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4.
Another break, right? Another break, another 3-hour break, 9 to 11, then 2 to 4.
And now you're back at it again, 7 to 9.
Another 3-hour break because he gets back at it again at 7, right? So he wasn't playing basketball all fucking day, right? He's talking about how he broke the sessions up, right?
Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4. Right. And so now you do that. And as the years go on,
he's talking about something else. I just wanted to get that part of the video where he would work hard, intense, then take a break, then work intense, then take a break. So what does that look like? Okay, let me explain to you why that's important. Right. Because we'll get into how I structure my deep work or my mini. We'll go into in a minute, we're going to go into how I structure my mini modes. But if we look at let me bring up my calendar, right? Yeah, you can show it. So this is like when my calendar is. So I made I call it deep work, right? But I'm going to change it to mini monk modes because I just invented that shit and I want to start saying it, But before I was calling it deep work because it's based off Cal's book. But you see, it's like, I have these deep work sections. Then I do other shit. Boom. Then I go into another deep work section, right? So it's like I'm going in and out of monk mode. Does that make sense? This way, it's, I got my whole day planned in my calendar. I got everything planned. Fucking what time I'm gonna go to sleep, when I'm gonna wake up, when I'm gonna do I got all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I had these mini deep works in here. Sometimes they're longer, right? Sometimes they're longer, but it's similar to Kobe's structure. So check this out. So when you're doing it like Kobe, it's like, you get this beginning part, boom, then you rest. Right. Then you get this beginning part again. Right. And now you have just the most productive parts of it. And you're just doing that a few times a day. Excuse my fucking shitty graph, right? But you're getting that, and in the meantime, your brain can rest and recover. Now, remember that study I showed you. If you fucking work long hours in a row, consecutively over time, your cognitive ability will start to decline, right? So, for me, I don't think it's necessary to do a 24-hour monk mode for weeks or months at a time, because you're not getting quality work done the longer you stress out the duration of work. So when I started doing this, I started making more money. I started being more productive, and I'm able to live a regular life. Because another problem with monk mode is it's depressing. It's depressing. Like that isolation can be depressing, right? Like, check this out. Here's a study that shows that actually shows that isolation leads to depression, right? Right. So you're isolating yourself for months at a time. You're going to start to get sad and lonely, because human beings are not made to be like that, right? We're not designed that way. You get what I'm saying? It's in fact, that's how we punish the worst among us, right? We got the criminals, we put them in jail. The worst criminals, where they go? Solitary confinement, the hole, right? That's how you punish somebody. You isolate them from everyone else. And to do a self-imposed version of that is going to be super detrimental to your well-being. In fact, so right here, if I go here, let me see. So, Ben, what does this say? Let me go ahead and accept the cookies. Mental health and physical health are interacted. Social isolation's adverse health consequences range from sleeplessness to reduced immune function. Loneliness is associated with higher anxiety, depression, and suicide rates. This is real shit. I believe that if you do a prolonged monk mode, and you're really isolating yourself from the world, I believe you're putting your physical and mental health at risk. I know that because that's what I experienced. Now, I'm not saying it didn't work. And maybe I did it too long because there was no protocols. There was no fucking YouTube back when I was doing this shit, you know, or YouTube had like just started. It was in its infancy. So nobody's making videos on monk mode or no shit like that. So I was trying to figure this shit out, and I was just doing what I had to do to save myself and my family. However, I did experience like negative side effects from this shit, you know, like mental negative side effects. But with the mini monk modes, right, you just carve out a few hours per day. You can actually really, you know, accomplish a lot. So I'm going to give you guys my mini monk mode protocol. And there's 5 simple steps. Number 1, plan in your planning calendar. Like, okay, Google Calendar is the best way to do it. Now, I plan everything in my calendar, and I have a video about how to do this. It's just I'm just way more productive as a result. But this is the wrong. Where was I? Where the fuck is it? Oh, okay, here we go. Right. So I just designed. Monk mode. My girlfriend is doing this shit in real time because she hears shit. But yeah, monk mode, right? You know what I'm saying? And because I was calling it, but the deep work on monk mode, whatever it is, right? And I have this shit in here, right? And this is when I put the fucking phone away, I put social media away, and I just focus on my goals for this amount of time. Hey, then I can get back to some other shit, right? Now, it's better if you plan your whole life in this motherfucker, right? I have what time I'm gonna go to sleep. I try to plan out every hour of every day, you know? All right, so that's one. But also plan your fun, right? I plan my fun. So if, you know, I hit me and my boys may look at the NBA basketball season, when the Heat play, and we saw, hey, what games do we want to go to this year? And we put that in the calendar and we plan it. You know what I'm saying? We plan the fun, right? Or I know how much time I'm gonna spend with my son because I plan it. My nieces and nephews, I want to spend more time with them, and so I plan it. Or I plan times with the homies, right? I hit them up, hey man, well, like me and my boys, we all ballers, and we all like kind of do this shit. I was on the phone with my boy Jeremy. No, I was texting my boy Jeremy, and I was like, yo, man, we should fucking go do this thing. And we like, oh yeah, let's do it. He sends me a calendar invite. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we roll. Jeremy makes multi-millions, success leaves clues, man. All right. And then, so you plan your fun, plan your recreation. Hold on. Right. Oh, here's the thing about planning your recreation, right? It puts limitations on it. Right. Because if you're just going to play video games or you're just going to have fun as much as you want and there's no limitations on it, then there's no limitations on it. And you might do it way too much, way more than necessary. You may do too much socializing. You may do too much watching TV or whatever the fuck it is you do for fun. Right. But if you can actually like nail it down, plan the time with your girlfriend, plan the time with your spouse, then you put like restrictions on it. So you can't do it too much, for one. And also it makes the sacrifice easier. For example, it's like cheat day. When I first started working out, I would have a cheat day. And it was difficult for me to adhere to my diet, but I knew at the end of the week, Sunday, I was going to get that cheat day and I can eat whatever I want. So knowing the cheat day was coming made it easier to adhere to my dietary protocols. And I hope that makes sense. So when you start planning your fun, it's in your calendar. It gives you something to look forward to. So when you're in the grind, it makes it more. When you're in the grind, it actually makes it less stressful and more and less of a daunting task because you know that some fun is around the corner. I hope that makes sense, right? All right. And then number three, you want to set the rules. So I can't tell you what your rules are going to be, but for me, when I'm in that mode, it's no phone. Phone's probably in the other room or it's like away from me. All my other devices are on do not disturb, and I'm locked in on my task. And the only thing I'll stop doing the task for is to like urinate, or maybe I'll get up and get some water or something. But usually I have the water like ready for me, right? Even like right now, man, I got my waters right here, man. I got still and sparkling. I'm ready for anything, Yeah, I got still for regular hydration, but if I want to get crazy, if I want to get fancy, I got the other. I usually have everything set up, right? Set the rules and then set up in did I spell that right? I be spelling words wrong. I have dyslexia, guys. Don't make fun of me. If you make fun of me, it's a hate crime. God don't like that shit. He gonna punish you for that. You know what I'm saying? Let me try this again. Oh, that's close enough, right? Set up your environment, right, for the actual work. So get everything ready. Have your fucking water. Have your drinks. If you need to take a pre-workout before, fucking you pop an Addy or modafinil, whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Have the shit set up, urinate, so you can not be distracted and you can just work super fast. I mean, super hard during that time without interruptions. Right. And then number 5 is the session should be at least 90 minutes. And I think you should do it every day. Oh, 90 minutes every day, right? At least one 90-minute session every day. So that way you get some deep work in every day. Like the mini monk mode should be every day. Now, and the reason it's 90 minutes, because when I talked to Cal Newport, basically I have an interview with him. I think we posted that in the Victory Unit Discord where I interviewed, and we'll put the link in the description. But Cal said that the session needs to be at least 90 minutes because it takes your brain a little bit of time to acclimate to a new task for you to get into flow, right? And 90 minutes is the minimum, right? But the maximum is 4 hours. The maximum is 4 hours without a break. And the reason being is because of the studies I showed you earlier, cognitive ability starts to decline at around the 4 hour mark. And there's a lot of other studies I can reference to let you know that. But around the 4 hour mark, your brain's going to need a rest. And why does your brain need a rest? Well, because your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy. Your brain is on average is about 5% of your body weight, your body, not body weight, but your body mass. Your brain is about 5% of your body mass. But at rest, your brain uses 20% of your body's energy. At rest, your brain uses 20% of your brain's. At rest, your brain uses 20% of your body's energy. All right. So imagine if you're thinking real hard. So there's studies that show that like chess players, they burn tremendous amount of calories just playing chess. They're just sitting down thinking, because thinking uses up a lot of energy. You ever been working real hard on something and you're just at your desk and then you're tired after? That's because your brain is using up energy, right? You work for 4 hours, give yourself a break, let your brain recover, let your body recover. Just like Kobe said, then you hop back into it, right? And if you can do that, you can sustain that indefinitely. Because my fear is for some of you guys, if you do these sessions of prolonged monk mode, you're gonna go into a boom and bust cycle. And I've seen this with a lot of entrepreneurs. They work super hard and they have some success. Then they stop doing what got them to be successful. Then they start to gradually fall off. And then when their fucking money runs low, it's like, monk mode. And it's this boom and bust cycle. I don't think it's healthy. And it's not. And I'm not saying it doesn't have its merits. And I'm not saying it won't work for some people. And I'm not saying it wouldn't work for you. But imagine if you can get a lot of work done every day for years in a row. Then you're me, man. Then you're me. You know what I'm saying? There are a few 8-figure businesses, Richard Mills, diamonds, big titty, Spanish girlfriend, man, penthouse in Miami. That's what I did. Right. And if you want some help with but in order to do that, the very first step, remember, you have to put it in your calendar. And I have a video all about how to use Google Calendar to get to really get your time management order. And I think in that video, there's a bunch of other productivity hacks and tools that I use to become super successful and make a ton of money at the same time. You want to check out that video right now. All right. Hope that was helpful for everybody. All right. Now, here's the thing, guys. This is about money, muscle, and mindset. So we got my man, we got one of my boys in here, the homie, the homie Greg, Romulus's apprentice, to hit us with that market recap. Let's do it. It's on YouTube? Oh shit. All right. Yo, Greg, what up, man?
Hey, good to see you, Brandon.
What's up, man? What's going on, man? So are you Jackie Chan for Halloween?
Yeah, so you're really close. Those of you guys in the chat, you probably know it's
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Is that Robert Kiyosaki?
Mortal Kombat tends to, have a lot of Asian characters, so it makes sense.
Okay. Oh no, was that racist?
Yeah,
we gotta cancel this man. How do you know they're Asian?
It is
Nema's Asian. Nema's Asian. He's from Iran. It's in the continent of Asia, is it not?
It's in the continent of Asia, yeah.
Nema's
Asian.
Asian.
Very fond of Mortal Kombat, so I compliment.
Yo, listen, you want a mind fuck? You know what I'm saying? People don't think about this, man. But Israel's in Asia. It's on the continent of Asia. People don't think about that, man. They Asians over there. That's why I ain't been paying attention to the conflict, man. Because I ain't never been to Asia, and I don't know nobody in Asia. Anyway, what's going on, man?
I was going to go over the SPY, a few trade ideas, and then I was going to break down some of your guys' stocks.
Finish him. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's share your screen, brother.
Share my screen real quick. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, man.
All right, you guys see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Yes. We see.
No, we can't see it. No, we can now. What
Okay,
am I looking
awesome.
at, man?
All right, so we're looking at a daily chart of the S&P 500.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
a lot going on right now. I got some zones, I got some colors. Tomorrow, the Federal Reserve, they're going to make their interest rate announcement. And they're probably not going to do shit. They're not going to do anything. But the expected move for tomorrow on the overall spot, $4. So you could expect maybe like 1% move higher or 1% move lower. Calls will pay if SPY moves more than 1% to the upside. Puts will pay tomorrow if SPY moves more than 1% to the downside.
So we gambling, basically. What do you say? We gambling, man. We letting it ride.
That's if you're just going to take a position ahead of the announcement.
What time's the announcement, man? I got a few extra dollars. I feel like gambling.
That's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern. Before you do that, hit me up in the Discord and I'll for you so we can find some.
This is not investment advice, man. I'm about to gamble tomorrow because I am a crazy person.
If you're going to roll the dice, you might as well have the odds in your favor.
Come on, man.
But overall, these zones right here indicate just certain levels of bullishness or bearishness. So overall, for the past couple months, the market's just been sideways. Hasn't really gone up too much, hasn't gone down too much. We've kind of been range bound. Some call that a kangaroo market, where they're hopping around. But
I see what you did there.
Yeah. If the SPY starts really, closing daily into this white zone, it could be a sustainable, strong new bull market. That's just based off price alone. Right now, we're kind of in that neutral zone where you kind of want to have a lot of cash ready. You want to be nimble. You want to play both sides. Don't get married to the long side. Don't get married to the short side. Stuff like that. But
we just hit it. We just hit it and quit it. We just trading right now is what you're saying.
Yeah, just quick trading. But then the big positions start coming on in if we start getting into these zones. So if we start going purple and we start breaking those lows from last Friday, it was pretty nasty. That's where the VIX, the volatility and fear index, can really start to spike. And that's where the big selling starts to come on in.
Oh, it looks like it broke that trend.
Exactly. Yeah. VIX just recently broke this trend line. And most of the time, you actually don't want to chart out or analyze the VIX. You just take price for what it is. Yeah. But it is significant. That's kind of leading towards this little short-term rally.
All right.
And Apple earnings is also going to be very critical. So if
when does Apple do? When is their earnings call?
Apple's earnings are on Thursday, and the expected move, I believe, is about $6.80. So about $7 higher, $7 lower. So you could see Apple up here at about 177, or you could see Apple down here at 163. And that's
so we're gambling over there too.
You could if you want to. The good moves are going to be happening on Friday, though. The good day trading volatility and positioning for the long term. So
all right.
Be careful. Apple does have a lot of risks with it, but it could obviously rally. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, those algos will do what they want.
Yeah.
So it's spooky season right now. The VIX is down, so fear is lower. But overall, over the past few months, the past week, there's been a lot of fear. The past month, there's been extreme fear. This is what's called the Fear and Greed Index.
Oh.
It's super easy. All you do is you just Google search Fear and Greed Index, and this shows up on CNN.
This is based off the VIX.
Yeah, this is.
Can you explain them what the VIX is? Because they might not know, but I know it has to do with options tradings. And
yeah, so VIX has to do with the volatility of S&P 500 options. So when the VIX is high, that means there's a lot of hedging going on. SPY puts are being bought. People are buying put options. People are shorting the market. People are dumping their shares. So that's VIX tends to be the inverse of the market. When VIX is dropping, that's actually when option values come down and the premiums aren't as high. It's expecting lower ranges. So it's ranges and the amount of hedging done in the market. And it can get pretty complicated. You can take a look at things like a derivative of the VIX, the VVIX. And this is the volatility of the volatility index.
Yeah, or UVXY and all those other joints.
UVXY is a little bit different. It is like a triple UVXY is like a triple levered of the VIX. Yeah. But this is important stuff because this is the amount of fear in the market. You can take a look at it on a chart. It's super cool.
Yeah.
And you can trade it with options. Like if you're expecting like some crazy catastrophe, you can buy VIX calls or UVXY calls or whatever you want.
Yeah.
But you really want to wait for those confirmations because if it most of the time the VIX tends to fade, meaning it pumps and then it dumps. It looks like a penny stock, you know? So that's something to think about. And going back to this fear and greed index,
it looks like it's in fear, man.
Yeah, so it's in fear. So the way you actually read sentiment is at the extremes, you tend to get reversals in the market. So you've heard Warren Buffett say, buy when everybody's fearful and sell when everybody's greedy, something like that.
Yeah.
Fear
Warren Buff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Warren B.
Man.
Yeah.
So this is a scale of 0 to 100. So 100 would be extreme greed. Like you're just buying like a straight up vertical chart.
Yeah.
Extreme fear is like, oh wait, just everything's crashing, nothing but red candles.
Yeah.
The world seems like it's ending. What happens is there tends to be reversals when you're towards those extremes.
When you hit the extremes.
But there tends to be trends when you're in the middle. So this gets a little bit complicated based off its interpretation. But since we're still in the fear stage, it means we're still in like a downtrend, but we're not yet quite at a reversal. So in the fear stage, we're trending towards fear. In greed stage, this like back over here, we're trending and people were greedy. Right here, it turns into extreme greed, and then that's when the market reverses. So that's
traders should really pay attention to this fear greed index, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's another indicator that can help you make a trading and investment decision. It's not the all be all, but just another thing to look at.
Yeah. How come they don't have this on any like trading softwares? Like I've never seen it.
I'm sure you could probably program it onto an indicator or something like that. I can do some research too as well.
Yeah.
I'll do some research for you, Brandon.
I mean, I can also Google too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? All right, hey man, my man, shout out to Greg, man. My man's about to code a fear and greed indicator for me. That's what I like to hear.
It's Halloween. We might as well.
Come on, man. It's getting scary. It's getting scary.
Yeah.
All right.
Some quick trade ideas. Gold.
Okay.
Gold's been running up. The Legion's been profiting off of this gold run up, but I am starting to notice that gold might be getting a little bit weak. Too many people are getting bullish on gold, and we might be at a short-term reversal point. So short-term gold might see a little bit of a drop, but the real trick here is actually to short silver. Silver tends to be weaker. SLV. So some in the money put options might be on the table this upcoming week. I'll be analyzing it live with the Legion. So that's just another trade idea. Another one is oil. Oil had a bullish chart formation, but then we went through what's called a kicking reversal pattern. And we don't need to go too much into the weeds of this, but when you close at the high and then the next day you gap down and close near the low, that's called a kicking pattern. And that is a bearish reversal. So as long as oil, this is USO and ETF that tracks based off the price of oil. As long as USO is underneath about 78, it's more likely to go lower over the next few months, I'd say. So that's another trade idea. You can trade futures like /CL. You could trade /MCL for the micros. You could trade SCO shares. These go up when oil goes down. UCO shares go up when oil goes up. So you've got some ideas over there. And one last
Greg's drop. I mean, like the video. My man Greg, he's dropping a lot of knowledge for y'all today.
Yeah, you guys just learned how to trade oil. If you don't know how,
come on, man.
Hedge your gas prices.
Let's go.
One last idea, and this is risky. None of this is a recommendation. None of this is financial advice. I'm just some goofball in a costume.
Man, we gamblers, man. Let's go. I'm ready to let it all ride.
Nvidia, if Nvidia really starts to break down underneath about $400 a share, maybe even a little bit lower, you could see a quick flush down to like 380. You could grab put options, trade that, and you'd actually potentially might want to buy the dip. So Nvidia is like a round trip type of trade where.
Oh, you mean like if it closes, is that like closing that gap or no? Are you predicting it's going to close that gap or no?
It probably comes somewhere within the gap, 365 down to like 350 over the next coming months. And this whole gaps tend to be like a whole zone of support. It's not just one price level. So this entire big ass box, that's like an accumulate zone for the professionals. So that zone is from like 370 down to like 301. And so that's what I'll be looking at on Nvidia. Short into long. That's a little bit more risky. Do you have any other stocks you want me to break down, Brandon?
Yeah, I want you to look at Bitcoin, man.
Hell yeah.
It's looking like what I'm looking at. I feel like I'm looking at a high base formation right there. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. So Bitcoin, it is a little bit overbought short term. So, and this is a high base. This is kind of like a bull flag. So the textbook says that, you get a break up. That's our flagpole. That's the impulse wave of momentum. Then we go sideways. When we go sideways, that's telling us, people aren't too interested in selling up here, and we might make another run higher. The thing is, though, is that we're a little bit overbought, and this is prone to false breakouts. So you could take the breakout, just like be ready that it could like reverse fast. An example of this, and I'll come back to Bitcoin, is on the S&P 500. This was called a false breakout. Right here, we have an impulse wave. We have a flat top, and right there, I don't know if you can see it. It's a tiny wick. We broke out and snapped on in. That's called a specialist breakout. It's a reversal, a jab, if you will. So watch out for that for Bitcoin.
But the Bitcoin one looks better to me.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not a Bitcoin bull. I'm not a Bitcoin.
I'm just talking about for the trade.
Not yet. Not yet. The better trade is actually the dip buy at about 32,000.
Okay. If it hits 32.
Trade. Yes. And this flag very well may go. Like you could day trade it. I wouldn't swing trade it though. It can just like dump.
And now if I wanted to do it with shares, what I do?
Yeah. So if you want to do it with shares,
Grayscale.
You could do like GBTC. You could do Grayscale. You could do the physical Bitcoin itself. You could do it through like Robinhood or Webull or whatever.
Yeah. I don't like to fucking buy Bitcoin in Robinhood. Even when I'm trading, because it makes my fucking whole shit looks crazy. It makes my whole chart looks crazy.
I know exactly what you mean. I own a little bit of this. I own about 1% of my portfolio as BITO. And this actually pays a dividend. That's what I like about it. I get paid a little bit as I wait. So it tracks the price of
Why not Grayscale? Oh, because of the dividend.
That's why not Grayscale. But GBTC, I'm no crypto expert. That's not my lane of expertise. I'm a market technician. I'm not as good of a trader as Romulus, but I do specialize in just forecasting the chart. So I'm not an expert in crypto, though. Like that Layla.
Nobody is. Listen, nobody's an expert at crypto. shit is imaginary, man. There's some money to be made.
There is. In the Legion, I was posting after I was like, hey, if you guys want a quick trade, grab coin calls or grab coin shares at like 77 and boom, the next morning, Coinbase, rally. Oh,
then you sold off. You sold off early.
13% one day.
Woo! So that's what's up. All right, I got some other questions. Hold up. XLE.
Okay, so XLE, this is the energy sector. So this is going to tie into oil, where if oil really starts to drop, XLE is going to kind of get dragged down with it. So the XLE, the energy sector, more so range bound as of late. I think we could get maybe a little bit of a rally, maybe like a 1 to 2% rally. If we take out this hammer candle high, that'd kind of be a little bit of a break up. But the longer it stays in this range between like 85.20 and 84, the more that turns into a little bit of a bear flag. And if the overall market breaks down, the XLE is going to break down too. So that's something to consider. Short-term little break up, but I would not be married to this. You could do some Fibonacci retracements. A conservative target would be 87.20.
All right. Energy transfer, my beloved energy transfer, man.
This one, I like this one. And that one drops with XLE. See the correlation? There are earnings coming up, so really anything can happen. Those are tomorrow after market. So ET, 37 cents is the expected move. So you could expect it 37 cents higher or lower. I don't have a bias either way. I will note and remind people that gaps, the entire zone of the gap tends to be resistance if you're underneath it. So this whole zone of like 1326 up to 1356, that's kind of like your supply or sell zone if you don't want to potentially be in it for further downside. I think this is one of the better energy names, and it's very liquid.
It's been good to me.
Yeah, it's been good. I think that it's just like, not financial advice, but just like a hold. Like I wouldn't buy it, I wouldn't short it, I just hold it.
All right.
Yeah.
Tesla, man, we shorting it or what? What's up, man?
Yes, but only on a bounce. Yes, but only on a bounce. So this is a beautiful equilibrium type of play. So we got higher lows, we got lower highs. This is the pennant. The volume profile wasn't the best, but big breakdown on Tesla.
Man, wasn't it?
Fat ass breakdown. I overall, I want to get a Tesla one day.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to buy.
Buy one tomorrow, man. Get two, man. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. I'll let the stock price come down. I'll buy the stock, use the gains from the stock to buy a Tesla. I only want to buy the stock down here at like 150. That's That's kind of like my quote unquote price target or okay value area. As long as Tesla's really underneath 205, it's short term really, really bearish. And even then, longer term, over the next few months, if Tesla's underneath this 240 to 227 zone, lower prices are in store. I would not be super bullish on Tesla until we came above 270, which of course that gives up a lot of margin, but you really got to be careful on a stock like Tesla when the trend is really steep to the downside. It's a momentum stock, so it can like snowball to the downside.
Yeah. Okay. Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft. Microsoft's one of the stronger names. And on Thursday, we did some live trading on the Legion, and $200 turned into $1,000 on some put options. We noted this short setup right here. Boom. Beautiful flush.
Come on, man.
Live trading in the Legion. But Microsoft, one of the stronger tech stocks, just like Microsoft and Meta, if you had to buy like some of the Magnificent Seven or some of the tech stocks, those tend to be relatively strong. I got to say I'm neutral Microsoft. Microsoft eventually probably will be lower. I think it could potentially get up to like 350, maybe even 360 if the market's strong short term. So if you see like the SPY green, potentially like Microsoft day trading calls or something like that could be an okay type of trade, or like maybe put credit spreads. But if Microsoft breaks down underneath 330, look out below. All
right. I got another one. This is my last one I'm asking about. Lululemon.
Oh, Lulu.
They had a huge run up. They filled the gap, and it looks like it's at a nice resistance.
This is an interesting one. So we got a high, low, lower high. This one I might throw up like an indicator for. I'm going to put up money flow, and money flow is just an RSI that multiplies volume. So you get the indicator to help confirm or deny these trends. And money flow did make a higher high as price made a higher high. This looks strong. This looks more strong. I can't say it's a buy though. I would only stick to day trades. That's kind of the way that I would
really. But like I feel like it just hit support.
It did
when it came down and it bounced off support.
This type of formation is bullish. It's one of those things where the liquidity just makes it so risky to buy. Meaning like the bid-ask spreads are wide. If you enter and then the trade goes against you, it's tough to get out.
All right.
I will say this. I long over 396. That's kind of like a little bit of a short-term breakout, and the next target would be something like 405. These flagpoles can potentially break out. So the measured move on that pattern is 460. It needs a strong SPY. So I guess it's a caveat. If the SPY is strong, you've got the motion of the ocean on your back, and you've got a volume breakout. You want Lulu to probably do more than 5 million in shares of volume. Then you can potentially get that flagpole to break up. And again, patterns aren't everything. There's a lot more aspects, but that's just one thing to look at.
All right, Greg. Well, listen, thank you, man. If y'all want to know more about this, some more help from Greg, he's in the Victory Unit Legion. You know what I'm saying? He's in there all the time. Him and Romulus, man, helping people make money with the stocks. You want to learn some. I hope you guys all learned some. Greg, that was That's fantastic. Oh, Greg has a super chat. Someone had super chatted Greg, man. What they say?
Oh, what they say? What's up?
So we have investor in innovation.
Him stock.
Check out him stock. 75% of my portfolio is in it. It's a telehealth company. I'm a pharmacist. I have high convection. It will 5 to 10 times in the next 5 years.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, it's a bad looking. That's an awful looking chart.
So, investor in innovation. One thing I will say before even looking at the chart is I highly recommend you study like portfolio diversification strategies, because 75% of your portfolio in one stock, even if you're like 100% sure it will 10x, that's way too risky. It's not a good practice. Generally, you don't want to have like a stock be more than like 10% of your overall portfolio. And you also want to diversify your industry. So if you're a pharmacist, you don't want to have a majority of your wealth in one sector because that's too much correlation. What if the healthcare industry takes a fat nosedive? Then you're out of a job and your stock is performing poorly.
Yeah. Can you show my screen? So when I'm looking at it, okay. So here's the thing. It's a bad looking chart. Like it's been getting its ass beat, right? However, like look where it's at though.
Yeah, good area of support.
Right. It looks like it has a good area of support, right?
Yeah. So you got some oscillators there as well.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit going on in here, man. Too much. Right. But I mean, that looked like it might be support, but it might be support.
It could
but
be
it's just a bad chart, man. Like it's just in general, that's not a chart. Man, it's not looking good.
I would hold off on something like that and wait for it to start making higher highs and higher lows. And then don't be afraid to average up on your position. Don't try to get the cheapest deal as possible. Brandon recommended me this book, and I recommend everybody else read it too. The Best Loser Wins.
Yeah.
A big theme of that book is most people love averaging down. You should try to practice averaging up if you can. Not for every scenario, but
yeah.
In a lot
I would have made way more money if like my highest conviction stocks, I would have just kept at it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're about to have earnings. We can see. I don't know.
And they should I don't know that too with covered calls, cash secured puts.
Yeah.
Name it. Get some extra money.
If I had high conviction on this stock, yeah, you can show. If I put it on a weekly chart just because it's easier to understand. I mean, it's been going down for like fucking months in a row, right?
Yeah. Supply. People are telling you.
Yeah. So if I was to, but it looks like this might be a level of support. You know what I would do, man? I would fucking sell puts into this shit, right? If I had high conviction, maybe sell puts, and if it goes
have a position though, because he's
what
75%.
He's already got. I don't know what to tell him.
If you're not in and you've done your research, maybe yes, cash secured puts.
Yeah, I know what I see commercials for these motherfuckers, right? They selling like dick pills and hair transplant shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, hair pills and dick pills.
There you go.
And listen,
there's a market for that.
There's a market for that, man. White guys love having hair, man. They hate when they lose their hair. So I know there's a market for it. You know what I'm saying? So one day, you're too young now, man, but maybe when you're my age, you'll be getting this. Because white guys, they be looking like they're from the future when they shave their hair. Except for like Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Bruce Willis, Johnny Sins. No, matter of fact, white guys look cool, bald. So. All right, let's get Greg. Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks for having me. Happy holidays.
All right. I think we got another super chat. Remember, guys, all your super chats go for research and development. Thot Repellent. We got to get this out the market. You know, that FDA won't let us put it out if it keeps killing people. All right. What are you saying?
We have JP back.
All right.
Blessings. Best show on YouTube, hands down. Baller Mindset course is the best money course I've gone through, and it's free.
Yo, there's a lot of truth in that statement, JP Fitness. Yo, again, if you haven't already downloaded the Baller Mindset course, it's free. My man JP, he's just telling you it's the best course on the internet, and it's free. It really is free. I put that course out, man, because I just wanted I want you guys to win, succeed in life, and then give me the props. I'm doing it for props. It's all for my ego, to feed my ego. If I can take credit for your success, or you can credit me for succeeding, you know, I can't buy that. I gotta give it to you. That's why. Oh, thanks for the baller mindset course. You know what it is. If you haven't gotten it already, man, you tripping. Download it. And you know what's so fucking crazy, man? There's a huge percentage of the people who downloaded that shit who like haven't even watched one video yet. It's like people are so full of shit. I'm actually giving them the keys, and they not a huge percentage. Maybe like 20% of the people.
And that course is structured like in a way that it's so easy to consume.
Mm-hmm.
It's super easy to follow.
It's fun and exciting.
Yep.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm hilarious. All right. Damn, what is this one? Is this Habits of a Winner or is it what is it? Okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. First of all, we got another super chat.
We have Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, quick update for you, my friend. I hired a credit repair company. I read Profit First, and I'm applying it already. I'm one step closer to balling.
Come on, man. Let's go, Jose. Let's go, Jose. He said he's one step closer to balling. You know what that means? He went through the balling mindset course, so he knows what's up.
And then we have Barahasi 99. Do you recommend any courses for social media marketing?
It depends on what you're trying to do. Like when you say social media marketing, because that can mean a lot of things, right? It doesn't mean running social medias for other brands. It doesn't mean doing ads, like ads on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It doesn't mean growing your own social media to build it for yourself and make money off it. It really depends on what you mean by that. I want to help you, but it's kind of it's too broad of a question for me to give you the answer that I want. Best course he's ever taken, my man Die. He's talking about the baller mindset course. All right, cool. Listen, a lot to talk about. I got a lot more to talk about. In fact, this is a segment of the show we call Real Talk. All right. You may not know it, but there's an epidemic running rampant across the nation, if not the world. It's phone addiction. You may not think that you're addicted to your phone, but let me ask you a question. Open up your screen time app. See how many hours you spend on that motherfucker, right? Could you be spending that time in more productive ways, right? In this video, I'm going to show you why phone addiction is a problem. I'm going to explain to you how it's holding you back from success and prosperity in life, and how to overcome this addiction so you don't end up being a broke ass loser forever, at least. I want you to raise yourself out of the ranks of mediocrity and join me at the mountaintop, man. All right. And now I know you're thinking, why should I listen to this guy in a tank top? Why should I listen to this motherfucker in a tank top? Well, because I built several multi-8-figure businesses, and I've actually helped tons of other entrepreneurs, thousands of entrepreneurs, build full-time 6-figure businesses with their in the online, mostly in the online fitness space, but I've helped people in other industries as well. And I'm super fucking rich, successful, talented, healthy, in shape, handsome. I'm that nigga, man. So just listen, shut the fuck up and listen to me, bro. All right. All right. Here's why phone addiction is a problem. One, it impairs your productivity. Excessive phone use can disturb your work, school, and other important tasks, leading to a decrease in productivity, right? It also can cause mental health issues, right? Phone addiction has been linked to increased levels in anxiety and depression, as well as stress in both kids, teens, and adults. Basically, all humans, and we're going to go into more detail about that later in this video. It can cause sleep disturbances. It can cause sleep sleep disturbances, right? And really decrease the quality of sleep you're getting per night. Studies show that phone addiction can decrease your attention span, making it harder for you to focus and get shit done on a regular basis. And we all know that that's mandatory as it pertains to the acquisition of capital and coming up in life, right? And, if you got kids, man, you definitely want to pay attention to this video, because there are studies that show that it impairs cognitive development in children if they have too much screen time, right? But the biggest downside to social media, the biggest downside, to phone addiction, biggest downside to phone addiction is it's a waste of fucking time. Like, most of you guys waste too much fucking time on this shit. This is probably the worst part. All the time, I'm out here giving advice on business, on fitness, life, and people tell me, "Oh, I don't have time. And every time one of these assholes say that to me, if we're in person, I say, "Man, just open up your phone for a second. Yeah, go to settings, go to screen time, and his motherfuckers just spend 7-8 hours on their phone a day or some shit." And even if it's not that much, right? Even if it's not 7-8 hours a day on your phone, look at how much time you're spending on average per week on your phone. Is that helping you accomplish your goals or not? Is that getting you closer to becoming the man you want to be, the man you need to be to accomplish your goals? Is it helping you become better at business? Is it helping you become healthier? Is it helping you become a better father or a better spouse? What is this shit fucking doing for you? Imagine if you took all that time and deployed that time against accomplishing your goals. How much further would you be in life? Now, stretch that out over a longer period of time, years, you're going to be way ahead of almost every fucking body. And I'm going to show you how to do that here in this video. All right. Now, to understand how to solve this problem, we need to understand how to solve this problem. First, we need to understand why the phone is so fucking addictive in the first place, right? The smartphone is a dopamine machine. It's a super dopamine machine, right? It's one device. In one device, you have multiple things inside of it that produce unnatural levels of dopamine in the human brain. Sports gambling, dating apps, video games, pornography, online shopping, social media, instant messaging, all in one machine. All in one machine. No wonder everyone's addictive. It's like 8 addictive things all in one at your disposal at any time. Right? And here's the thing. The problem was that these things spike dopamine. Now, here's why that's a big problem. And here's why it's kind of fucking up your life. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that's responsible for motivation and drive. When your dopamine levels are high, you feel incredible. You feel great. You're fucking winning at life. When your dopamine levels are high, your quality of life and overall well-being and literally the amount of pleasure that you can experience in life is in direct proportion to the amount of dopamine that's in your system. Now, here's the thing. The problem is these unnatural spikes of dopamine that you get from your phone, and more specifically, the apps on your phone, the social media, the gambling, the pornography, the video games, the instant messaging, instant shopping, online dating, right? They call spikes in dopamine. Why is this important? All right. Let's say this is your brain. This is a very good image of a brain. I know I'm a great artist, right? Now, everyone has a baseline level of dopamine, right? And you want to keep these dopamines high, because these dopamine levels at a good place, because when these dopamine levels are high, what happens is, naturally high at your baseline, you feel incredible, you feel great, and you're motivated to do things, right? When someone says they lack motivation or they're not motivated, what they're really saying is they don't have dopamine in their system. Because if I was to give you a drug that produced dopamine, something like L-Dopa, you'd immediately have a bunch of dopamine momentarily. We'll explain why. Now, here's the thing. When you get these unnatural spikes of dopamine, what happens is your brain gets flooded with it momentarily, right? Momentarily. But then after the spike wears off, dopamine levels fall where? Below baseline. So they end up falling lower than they were prior to the spike. Now, it's not a big deal if, in general, it's not a big deal most of the time because, you know, within time, your baseline levels of dopamine will replenish. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, normal things can spike dopamine, like having sex or something like that. You have sex with your girl, you go to sleep, boom, you back at baseline in the morning, right? The problem with the phone is you have these constant spikes all day and you never allow your dopamine levels to replenish. So over time, you don't even like the things as much as you did initially because there's just not enough dopamine. You don't give your body, you don't give your brain enough time to recover and replenish its dopamine stores. And this is how you get people who are, oh, I just don't have motivation, or I'm fucking tired, or I'm sad, or blah, blah, blah. I'm a fucking bitch ass nigga, right? You don't want these unnatural spikes in dopamine. And, you know, video games, porn, dating, online, sports betting, social media, all these things that come from your phone can spike your dopamine levels round the clock. So we have a nation of people getting these constant spikes of dopamine, and it's no wonder they're addicted, right? It's basically, you know, it's the same way cocaine works, right? Cocaine works, it spikes your dopamine levels, then it crashes you below baseline. I've heard. And then after, you know, anybody I've ever seen do cocaine, they're fucking sad after that shit. You know what I'm saying? You get a low level version of that from your phone, but it's around the clock. Cocaine's too expensive for most of you guys to do around the clock, right? But you can do this shit all day. You don't even need to be rich to do this the way you need to have money to do cocaine, right? And that's the problem. That's a huge problem. So how do we cure this addiction, right? Well, first thing you need to do is to be cognizant of it, right? So what I've been doing is, what you can do is you can make a widget on your phone that shows your screen time per day. So at least now we know what's happening. We can take an assessment of our phone usage and put that on your home screen, front and center, right? That's step one. So this will give us an understanding of our phone usage per day, right? And then you can turn that into a game, like try to beat that, try to go lower than that every day or every week, right? Next thing you want to do is turn off all notifications on your phone. So the only notifications on my phone are only the notifications that are allowed to come through at any time are Uber, Uber Eats. I need to know when the food's here. Right? My mom's text messages, my girlfriend's text messages, or my son's mom's text messages. Those are the only notifications that are allowed to come through my phone. You know, everyone else can fucking wait. Everyone else can fucking wait. Oh, I have another notification called iMood Journal for this app. And that's in this app I use to track my mood, you know, periodically throughout the day. I talk about it in other videos. Those are only notifications, right? No social media on the phone. Take social media off your phone. Just delete it. Just delete it. And if you need to post something on social media, what I do, if I need to do it from my phone, I'll download the app, log in right quick, do the post, then fucking uninstall the app again. This will dramatically decrease your screen time and your phone usage. And it'll just make it less exciting, because what we're doing now is we're adding friction, right? Anytime you want to do something less, you want to add friction. Anytime you want to do something more, you want to increase friction. So this is the same thing I used to tell my clients when I was training them when they wanted to, stop eating snacks and shit. I was like, hey, man, how about you just take that shit out of your house? Right? Just fucking throw that shit out, man. Throw the ice cream out. Oh, man. Yeah, just throw the shit out. Dumbass. That's why you fat. Right? And they would throw it out. And yeah, they can still get it, but there's more friction associated with getting the fucking candy bar and the ice cream as well. Me, ice cream's my weakness. Is one thing I really like. I've always liked ice cream a lot. Right? You may not know that looking at me because I look, what's the word I'm looking for? Incredible. But guess what? I love ice cream. I know it's my weakness. Guess how much ice cream is in my house? 0. Yeah, I can still get it. I can still call Uber Eats and an immigrant will come bring it over. But that's more friction. You know what I'm saying? That's more friction. And I said immigrant. That was a term of endearment, man. My people was immigrated here involuntarily in the 17 and 1800s. All right. Also, what you can do is turn your phone on grayscale. So my phone is fucking gray. All the color is gone. Right. What this does is it makes your phone way less interesting to look at, and you just don't enjoy it as much. Like I took the joy out of this shit. Now it's just functional. It's just a functional device. Right? It's not fun and it's not as fun and exciting anymore. It's really easy to do this on an iPhone. Just open up settings, go to accessibility, go to display and text size, then go to color filter toggle, and then select grayscale. Right? And you should be gray. Right? Now, I'm assuming you can do this on an Android as well, but I don't talk to losers. No, I'm just joking. Androids are fine. All right. Keep your phone. Oh, yeah. You want to stay off your phone more? You could also just get an Android. Bonus tip. If you want to use your phone less, get an Android. Another thing we're gonna do, keep your phone away from your bed at night. Right? So I use my phone as my alarm in the morning, but it's on the other side of the room. Like I have to get up to turn it off. So that serves 2 functions. One, it's like I'm not in my bed. I don't have this shit up on my fucking cornea in the middle of the night, fucking with my retina, right? Because and I have to get up out of bed to turn my alarm off, right? So it serves that functionality as well. But a lot of people, man, they stay in bed, they stay up too late. Man, I can't sleep. I wonder what. Oh, you're on your fucking phone all night. You're on your phone all night, man. What did you expect to happen? Especially when you get that light into your eye, it tells your brain to stay awake, right? Because for most of human history, there wasn't a lot of light at night, so we haven't evolved to have a fucking light on our fucking eyeball all night long and go to sleep right after. We didn't evolve that way yet, You may be moving us in that direction, but it's going to take a few thousand years. But it also helps with you. It keeps the next tip is don't go on your phone first thing in the morning, right? So I wake up, I turn my alarm off, and then I fucking stumble around the house, but I don't go on my phone. I'm not going on social media. One, there's no social media on the phone. I'm not going to log into Instagram first thing in the morning, but you guys fucking know you've all been here. I've been here before. You wake up, you go on social media, and then you look up and a fucking hour has passed. We've all had that experience. That shit does not happen to me anymore. One, because there's no phone on here, but I also just have a rule. I just don't go on my phone in the morning. Just make it a rule. Here's another thing. Get an Apple Watch. This may sound counterproductive, but if you get the Apple Watch with the LTE, I have an Apple Watch Ultra. When I'm not wearing the Richard Mille, a lot of times I'll wear my Apple Watch. When I'm not wearing the Richard Mille or the APs or the Rolexes, I'll wear an Apple Watch. Like the common folk. Makes me more relatable. Sometimes I like to understand what y'all going through. And I put on the Apple Watch Ultra, but I have it with the LTE. And this way I can really just keep my phone away from me, and anything important I need, I can still, it's one of those text messages or one of those notifications that needs to go off, goes off. It's cool. I can just look at the Apple Watch and handle it. This is really helpful at the gym. I just keep my phone in my bag and boom, I'm doing everything on my Apple Watch. So, okay, I also have the Apple headphones. What do they call it? The fucking iPhones, AirPods. The AirPods or iPhones. The AirPods. So I had the AirPods, and you can link those to the Apple Watch. Now I can play the music off here. Nobody got an Apple Watch addiction. Nobody's spending hours on the fucking Apple Watch, right? So I'm actually introducing friction. I can still listen to my audiobooks or my music or track my workout or even make a fucking phone call on my Apple Watch if I need to, but it keeps me on the phone less. All right. Again, you got to turn off notifications. You don't want this shit buzzing, all the time. All right. Turn on screen restrictions. So I have restrictions on my phone, right? So this keeps me from going on in the morning because I might do it without thinking, but the apps are like locked. It says screen restriction. You can do that in your settings. And then I have to hit a code in or something to unlock an app. But most of the time I just see that, oh, I'm not supposed to be on it right now. All right. And I just don't get on it unless I need to, right? For whatever reason. All right. But turn on phone restrictions. And if you do all of that, I promise you'll be on your phone significantly less. Pro tip, you can get yourself an iPad as well. So what I like to do is I'll keep the social media on the iPad if I need to get on it, right? Because it's not on the phone. And, going on social media on iPad sucks. And that's a good thing. That's what we want, right? We want to introduce friction because it's not really made for the iPad. So I got the iPad with the mini with the LTE. And if I need to go on Instagram for whatever reason, boom, let's say I take a picture with this. I don't really know what color it is because this shit is gray. But then boom, airdrop it here. So I'm taking pictures throughout the day, taking videos throughout the day, and just put my phone right back away. And then when it's time to post, I can I can download Instagram, or I can just airdrop them here and then post it from here. You can also use desktop apps for like most social media or anything else you need, right? If you need to go on social media for work or something, do that shit from a desktop. You could do it from a desktop, dumbass, right? Or the iPad. That's a pro tip. That's a pro tip. All right. And if you do these things, I promise you, the phone addiction will not be a problem for you. But more importantly, you'll have way more time and energy to deploy against your goals. And if you want more help with accomplishing your goals, I have another video that's going to really take this to the next level. Really, if you watch this next video, it's kind of going to be like rocket fuel for your goal accomplishment. You want to check that out right now. All right. We got 2 super chats. There's a lot of heroes out here. We're going to get this Thot Repellent out to market, and I'll be honest with you, every dollar helps because people keep dying in the trials.
Yeah, we had more than last week.
Yeah, we're moving in reverse, really, and there's more side effects than last week.
We had less super chats last week, so we couldn't.
Couldn't
revive them.
Also, I have. Hey, I'm serious about. What does this say? What does that say?
No one.
Yeah, it's time for me to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to read it. You weren't supposed to read it. You're Asian. All right, what do you think?
So to follow up this one, you said he has to be more specific.
Mm-hmm.
He first asked, do you recommend any courses for social media marketing? And
he
said to build a personal brand or business.
Oh, to build a personal brand. Yo, I don't know no good courses on this. Here's the key. The secret. It's been this way since I came on social media. Post dope shit consistently. That's all you got to do, man. Like I'm telling you, you don't need. There's not many fucking hacks. There's not tricks. The only closest thing to a hack that I've ever seen was what's been happening recently is when Instagram and YouTube said they wanted to fight TikTok. So now short form content, right? Like short form vertical content where there's reels, YouTube Shorts or TikTok, algorithms seem to be prioritizing that. That's the closest thing to a hack I've ever seen, right? But that's not going to last forever, right? The overall principle is just post dope shit consistently. I swear to God, there's nothing else but that. Post dope shit consistently. Now I can dig deeper into that, but yo, if you're posting dope shit every day, your following will grow. Don't worry about fucking hashtags. Don't worry about what time you post. None of that. Post dope shit every day. Every day. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you your following will grow.
We have Erden.
Uh-huh.
BBC, I decided on moving companies as a niche for my agency.
Okay.
Any tips to kill my competition and just overall thought on moving company niche?
I don't know. I mean, people are always moving, right? And there's companies that do that. I know every time I move, I don't touch a box. What?
Blue Ocean book, maybe?
Huh?
The Blue Ocean.
Oh, yeah. I think he's already in it though, right? You know what I'm saying? I think he's already there, right? So I think, man, you want to get some testimonials first, right? So maybe work for someone for free or cheap. You get testimonials in that industry, 3 to 5, and then when you start, so you might work for them for free or for cheap initially, right? This is what you do. Here's what you do. You're gonna approach a bunch of fucking moving companies and say, hey, you'll work for them for free for a month or two or whatever time it takes for you to get results, right? And all I want is I'm working on building my business. All I want in return is just a testimonial if I make you money, right? And that's a pretty good offer to most people, right? They don't have nothing to lose, right? And so you do that, you get some testimonials, boom. You're going to do two things. If you actually make them some money, then you'll say, hey, man, because you did this, I would like to work with you. I'd like to give you 25% off my real services if you actually want to continue this relationship. If you made them some money, that's not a bad deal for them, right? So then you'll get clients from the testimonial. From you, the people who gave you testimonials should end up being clients, right? And then you're going to use their testimonials as marketing to other moving companies. And you still got to be good at what you do. So, and another tip was be good at what you are doing, because if you're not good at this shit, there's no marketing tips that are going to help you. You know what I'm saying? All right. Hey guys, this has been another episode of Victory Talk, the only podcast, one and only podcast. We talk about how to build your money, muscle, and mindset. Make sure you join that Victory Unit Discord. We got free tips in there. We helping you. And make sure you show up next week, because we're going to have the homie Sterling Cooper or Cooper Sterling. I don't remember how to say his shit. Make sure you show up Thursday, 7 p.m. Probably going to start on time because he's a white man. White people be punctual, right? And, he's a fucking porn star. So he's going to talk about, there's a lot to talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to talk about. Yeah. If you ever wanted to ask porn stars some questions, man, he's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'll let y'all. Peace.